Hello everyone, it's Lallie Napier. This is Bell Let's Talk Day here in Canada. It's the 29th of January, and every 29th of January there is a huge push to talk about mental illness and talk about how it affects people. So this year what I figured I would do is use my handy dandy notes that I took on a lovely envelope, because that's how long this takes. You go online and you just Google, symptoms of, and then you get a list, and either you fit the list or you don't fit the list. And if you do fit the list, then the next call you need to make is to your family doctor and get a mental health assessment from a local psychiatric unit or counseling. There's tons and tons of places that you can get an assessment done. But biggest thing, big thing, do not self-diagnose. Do not. If you use the internet as a guideline to give you an idea of what you need to research or what direction to go, use it as a first step. It's definitely not the end of the journey. Do not, under any circumstances, self-diagnose. In my own family, my father self-diagnosed back in the late 80s. He diagnosed himself and several members of the family, myself included, with ADHD. And as you know, I live with bipolar 1, and that is a very common mistake made by an awful lot of people, including professionals, because I did go and see psychiatrists and things like that when I was in my late teens, and they all said, yeah, ADHD. No, bipolar, completely different beast. It presents similarly, but it is a completely different thing. So what I did, I went to Google and I typed in physical symptoms of anxiety. That's it. Physical symptoms of anxiety. I wanted to know what the most common physical symptoms were in a person who is suffering anxiety. What I got was pounding heart, headaches, upset stomach, frequent urination or diarrhea, shaking or trembling. And that includes people that sit and shake their leg so their knee does one of these things constantly. That is a physical symptom of anxiety. That's something you can see in other people. You can't really see the pounding heart part, but you can see if someone has a headache because they're doing this thing and stuff. You can see if their stomach is upset because they're not eating. Frequent urination and diarrhea, well, they just run to the bathroom a lot. This is a symptom that I personally have had because I recently have been working on getting over my fear of being on the stage, singing out loud, even my public speaking. So that's one of the symptoms I absolutely have. And I'm slowly getting over it, but I have had to run to the bathroom after singing a song. This is what happens. And it's unfortunate and it's uncomfortable, but hey, what can you do, right? I also Googled physical symptoms of depression, because I find anxiety and depression are the go-to when people are talking about mental illness. Anxiety, depression, mental illness. Depression, we have headaches, back pain, muscle aches, and joint pain. Fatigue no matter how much they sleep. So no matter how much a person sleeps, they're still exhausted and they still feel like a bag of crap. I have experienced this. I've slept for 12 hours at a stretch, and it's not good enough. The quality of the sleep does not account for the quantity of sleep I get. So that's a pretty big one right there. Because if your sleep is off, then the whole rest of your day is off, the whole rest of your life is off, and you just feel rotten. So those are just some of the physical symptoms of anxiety and depression. So for Bell Let's Talk Day, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. What kind of physical symptoms have you experienced, even if you don't have an anxiety disorder or a depressive disorder? What types of symptoms have you had when it came to anxiety or depression, an eating disorder, anything? Things that people might be able to look for in others and help them understand your disorder or what's going on with you, so that they can better understand others who are going through the same thing. This is all about stomping out the stigma and getting rid of all of that. So, hey, I have bipolar 1. I'm an intelligent, well-spoken human being. I can do research. I can communicate effectively for the most part. I can make videos for YouTube. I can go to college. I can write a novel. I can do things. I do have a mental illness, but I can still do things because my treatment and my support system is so extraordinary. I now keep track of my moods every single day. This is something I have never done in the 7 years since I was diagnosed. So even now, 7 years later, I'm still evolving and I'm still becoming more attuned to myself and a better all-around person and better able to cope with my disorder because I understand it more. Education is absolutely the key. So for this Bell Let's Talk Day, make sure you share whatever picture, whatever video, whatever thing Bell is doing. Make them donate another a nickel or a dime to whatever charities and whatever mental health initiatives there are. And beyond that, just take care of yourself, okay? And whatever you do, don't self-diagnose. Just don't do it. It's just a bad idea. I believe the old phrase goes, the doctor who self-diagnoses has a fool for a physician. It's true. Don't be the foolish physician. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care of yourselves and each other.